Okay, good morning. We're going to start and we're going to go over something that has been coming up this week, which is unintentional limp. That is a limp that we create without having an injury, and it could happen for several reasons. It could happen because we have created an efficiency pattern of standing on one leg heavy, so when we go to walk, we go heavy on that leg. It could be happening because one leg is tighter than the other, so we have one long stride and one short stride, one long stride and one short stride. Or it could be happening because of pain we're not even aware of. So we're going to look at unintentional limp and how to remove unintentional limp, because with time, the amazing thing about the human body is a two-way system. It's not a one-way system. So in a one-way system, as I flip the light switch, the light goes on. In a two-way system, the light goes on and the switch flips. So when we walk around with the unintentional limp, with time, we're going to get an extremity problem. So we're going to try to remove for this extremity problem, and we're going to try to keep our feet in alignment and our legs doing the same thing and loading the same amount of weight. So, 50% will load onto this one and 50% will load onto this one. And likewise, when we're standing, it'll be 50-50 instead of having what typically most people do is 80-20. And they spend most of the day doing that, and they don't even realize it as they do it. So we're really going to look at how to balance that out back to 50-50. But in doing so, we have to start from something really basic. Today it's only me because Maria's off doing her school duties for Kai, which is a big deal in my book. So it's just going to be me. So counting may not be so accurate today. And here's where we start. Excuse me. Feet parallel. So this is especially important now, because usually we talk about this, we go through the motions of doing this, and we exaggerate it because it's so important and we get away from it, and it creates all sorts of problems for our bodies that we don't even realize. So we're going to do it. Feet parallel, hips width apart. So this is your ASIS, this is your pubic symphysis. Midway in between is that the actual width of your hips. So, or your hip joint, and then that creates the width of your hips. So your stance is a lot closer than you might think. From here, get your feet parallel. See what it feels like to get your feet on a set of skis based on your second toe, not on your first toe, but your second toe. Some of you, if you have bunions, have to do it in terms of first toe, but on a whole, we're going to do it based upon the second toe. Then you're going to bend your knees. You're going to turn your knees out. This will load your quad muscles, calves, and hamstrings. Then you're going to push down big toe on the corresponding metatarsal head. So you're going to really feel what it feels like to anchor down. Feel what it feels like to engage the biggest toe. That's the most important of them all. The outer four toes and the corresponding metatarsal heads. So that's what it feels like to get all the rest of the toes down and the metatarsal heads down, anchoring down. But the most important toe here is the little toe, because that gets the outer fours to turn on. If that little toe comes up, then you're not using your outer four toes and you're basically balancing on your big toe and your heel. And then finally, our last point of contact with it, which is our heel. Abs are going to stay engaged. You're going to put 1/3 the weight through the balls of your feet. So we're going to start at the balls of feet. I usually talk about the toes. We're going to start at the balls of feet. I want you to feel what it feels like to drop most of the weight there. And then you're going to drop your toes down, 1/3 the weight through your toes. And finally, 1/3 the weight through your heels. So this is a very interesting weight distribution if we're trying to get rid of unintentional limp. So see what it feels like to stand. Now draw your shoulder blades down and back and get your head over the top of your body, because if your head's off to one side or the other, that's where we get unintentional limp, because you'll be loading one side of your body more. So get that head square in between, and I'm seeing I'm having a little camera troubles here. Abs are engaged. It looks like the whole room's crooked, but can't do much from here. Push down big toe, little toe, all the rest of the toes. Abs nice and tight. Calves, quads, but everything on abs are nice and tight. We're going to start out just by doing your little squat. You're going to squat down. Keep all the energy in your calves, your quad, and your butt now. Suck in your tummy, and you're going to just go up and down. Keep breathing. See what it feels like to go up and down. Suck in that tummy, keep your abs engaged. At no point do your abs shut off, because this is time under tension. And the unintentional limp forms because we come out of time under tension and habituate. Squeeze those shoulder blades down and back, abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. Keep breathing. Suck that tummy in. 9 and 10. So you're staying here, shoulder blades are down and back, you're gonna squeeze your shoulder blades down and back. Your palms are gonna face forward, and you're just gonna roll your shoulders forward and then back and down. Forward and back and down. We're trying to get good posture over the top of the feet, making sure we're 50-50 over the top of the feet so we don't have that unintentional limp. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in that tummy, and you're breathing. Notice if there are kinks and crinks and crinkles in your shoulders. Try to keep everything in muscles and out of your joints. Suck in your tummy, draw it down into your lats, into your abs. Pull it down with your pecs. Keep those abs engaged. Okay, now we've set the upper half of the body. We're gonna put our hands and stick them up, get the pinkies to face backwards. Abs are engaged, your knees are still slightly bent. You're tucking your chin, your head's over the top of your body, and you're gonna pump your arms backwards. It's not down and backwards, it's straight backwards. This is working your rhomboids. Keep your abs engaged, keep your head or chin tucked in, sucking that tummy. Keep breathing. So we have to set the upper body to make sure we're not uneven on the lower body, because we're trying to get rid of that unintentional limp. Suck in that tummy, keep your pelvic floor on, and then shake your arms out. So we're still going after first chakra, which is your pelvic floor, second chakra, your lower abs, third chakra, your upper abs. We want you to keep all of that on as you now interlock your fingers behind your back. So what almost immediately happens is two things. Your head's gonna jut out, your belly's gonna turn up. I want you to suck in your tummy and draw your head back. Your arms are back behind you, shoulder blades are down and back. We're gonna do it again. You're gonna roll your shoulders forward and then pull them back. Keep your abs engaged the whole time. Smiles are up, feet are parallel. Suck in that tummy. Because we have to figure out what's going on the top to get things going right on the bottom. 9, 10. Now, keeping your tummy sucked in and your head back, you're gonna pump your arms back behind you as you simultaneously try to pull your arms apart. There's a little girl I'm absolutely in love with from South America. She's a dancer and she has no arms. So see what it feels like to have this kind of tightness in the center where you don't have access to your arms acting as counterbalances. You're having to go through your core, and this is why your abs have to stay on. Keep breathing. Now move your head and neck around. Make sure you have full range of motion of your neck, because otherwise you're going to go heavy over one of your legs, and that will create that unintentional limp. Go into extension as well as flexion. Keep your abs engaged. Keep breathing. Okay, and then we're going to slip your hands off over to the left. So both hands are left. They're still interlocked. And you're going to move your head and neck around. Keep your abs engaged. Notice the tension grows in your shoulder, and you want to turn off your ab muscles. We don't want to do that. Keep the weight distribution as close to 50-50 as you can over the top of your feet instead of going heavy over your left leg. Suck in that tummy. And then you're gonna take your hands over to the right. Move your head and neck around. Notice if one side's easier than the other. There shouldn't be an easier side, and if there is, that means you have an unintentional limp. Suck in your tummy. Okay, go ahead, shake out your arms. We're gonna put our hands together in the front now. You're gonna rip apart your arms. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking air tummy. We're gonna go for our axe throw and really create tone in your arms. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. Your arms don't bend. This is only a shoulder motion because we're working the stabilizers of the shoulders. And even though we're keeping this motion symmetrical like this, I want you to focus on your right shoulder as you now take it into a rotation. So even though both shoulders are doing the same thing, you're focusing on that right shoulder. Abs are engaged. Opposite direction. Keep ripping apart your hands. Keep ripping apart the ground underneath you. Weight is 50-50. Focusing on that right shoulder. Okay, now we're gonna focus on your left shoulder. You're gonna predominate all the energies into that left shoulder. Keep breathing. And then go in the opposite direction. Very nice. Shake out those arms. They should be tired because you used your shoulders. You're breathing now as you push the palms of your hands together. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna keep your elbows straight. Suck in that tummy. You're gonna throw your credit card now. You're gonna pretend you have a credit card between your hands that no one wants, that everyone wants to steal, but you don't want anyone to have it. Keep your abs engaged. Suck in that tummy. Squeeze, 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 squeeze those hands together. And then here we go. We're gonna focus on that right shoulder. You should feel all the energy in that right shoulder. And then go in the opposite direction. I know it seems academic and it's getting both shoulders, but focus hard on that right shoulder. Smiles are up. Now you're gonna focus on that left shoulder. Squeeze together as you move around. Abs are nice and tight. Opposite direction. Suck in that tummy. And 5, good. Shake out those arms. All right. Now that we got the upper body set and it's doing the right thing, we're gonna do what we usually do with the block first, then we'll do it with the block. You're gonna take your left foot forward, feet are parallel, abs are nice and tight, and you're just gonna step forward, step back. You're gonna make sure your feet stay parallel because if your feet don't stay parallel, you have an unintentional limp. Keep your abs engaged, keep this nice and smooth, suck in that tummy. Opposite hand, opposite foot, so your left hand travels with your right foot. Chest up, smooth motion. Get this until it's nice and smooth and it feels even. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Feet are parallel. Okay. Then we're going to reverse it. Your right foot is forward, abs are nice and tight. Left hand forward, right hand back. You're going to step forward, feet parallel, step back. We're going to have the same length stride. Because remember what I said, if your strides get uneven, then you get an unintentional limp, even though you don't have an injury. We're going to make sure this feels the same. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. See what it feels like? Suck in your tummy. Chest is up, energy is up. Make sure the weight distribution feels exactly the same as the opposite side. Otherwise, you're working a limp accidentally. Time under tension, so keep your core on. We're working muscles and not joints. Okay, good. Not very exciting. We're gonna do it next with the ball. Because the ball is going to tell you a lot about accidental pain, pain that you carry without knowing that you actually have pain there. We're going to first roll out the foot. Keep your feet parallel. it should be almost pain-free or very good feeling because you're massaging out your foot. It should not be painful. If it is, it's something that you're doing with your foot during the day and you don't even know. And if it hurts, you're trying to get away from it and you have an unintentional limp. Keep your abs engaged, keep those feet parallel, roll out all the soreness in your foot so it feels nice and good. What's really wonderful about this particular activity is we're calibrating your hips and your legs to a known height underneath your foot so you can learn how to clear things. Because as I've said before, we have two things we have to be able to clear. 2.5 inches, which is the size of a door threshold, and 10 inches, that's the overstepping a step on a staircase, and you're able to correct so you don't fall into the step and hurt yourself. Abs are nice and tight, suck in that tummy. Okay, ball goes under the ball of your foot, your heel goes down, abs are nice and tight. We're gonna do a little walking first, just step forward, step back, nice and even stride. Try not to limp, try to flow. Smiles are up, abs are engaged, suck in that tummy, keep that balance on. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Just keep going back and forth. Keep your feet parallel, keep that balance going on. Okay, switch sides. Notice once again if the soreness is the same or different. We want it the same. Notice if it's pain or if it's soreness. Because if there's pain, you're avoiding standing on that foot. Suck in your tummy, abs are nice and tight. Jaws relaxed. Smiles are up. Ooh, get out anything that feels sore in there. Whew. It's kind of sore, not a good sign. Okay, ball's underneath the ball of your foot, your abs are nice and tight. We're gonna check to see if this side is the same as the other side. Step forward, step back. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. Keep your feet parallel, keep your strides nice and same. Suck in your tummy. We don't want any limps. Nice fluid motion. Equivalently length strides as the opposite side of your body. Suck in that tummy. Tall. What you really don't want to do is what I call stepping down. You don't want to step down as you go over the ball because it's painful. You want to learn to lift and bring all that energy into your core. Okay, good. We're going to go back to the left foot again. You're going to curl your foot over the top of the ball, so you're trying to almost grab the ball. You're going to take your right heel and just mold your foot around the ball because this is opening up what's called your anterior arch of your foot. Suck in that tummy, shoulder blades are down and back, smiles are up. Just see what this feels like. This is for Annie. Okay, switch sides. Same thing on this side. Just get those toes to conform. Hi, Wolfie. Can't see her, she's off camera, but she's scratching her head right in front of me. Suck in that tummy. Okay, good. Now, we're gonna get the block. And we're gonna do our stepping again. You're gonna drop your heel down, abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy, shoulder blades are down and back, chest is up. You're stretching out your calf muscle first. So suck in the tummy as we pump our hips forward. Keep breathing. Abs are engaged. And then you're gonna step forward, step back, hips back. Make sure this is nice and smooth. See if you're catching somewhere weird We're going to compare it to the other side. We want perfect symmetry when we go to the other side. Otherwise, you're creating all sorts of problems. Suck in your tummy. This class will get harder, don't you worry. Okay, good. We're going to switch sides. I'm sure that was only 7, but we're going to go with it. Heel goes down, abs are nice and tight. Stretch out that calf, suck in your tummy. Just notice if the calf length is different. If it's tighter on one side, you have an unintentional limp. This is how easy this is. Suck in your tummy, pump those hips forward. Smiles are up. And here we go. Step forward, hips forward, step back, hips back. See what it feels like on this side? Do you have less motion in your ankle? Do you have more? Is this easier to do or more difficult to do? If it is different, you have an unintentional limp. And that's why we're working on this stuff, to get rid of that limp so we don't wear out one side of your body more than the other. And especially doing it accidentally. That's the worst case. Suck in that tummy. And this may be because of a former injury that your body's long since recovered, but you got in the habit of doing this. And that's why we especially have to break that habit. Keep breathing. I think that's close enough. Okay. Now you're going to move your block a little bit forward. We're going to do some balance work. So you're going to be on high heel on the rear foot. So you're high in the rear. I'm going to go sideways so you can see. Your rear leg's straight. You're really pushing that right thigh back. Your front knee is bent. Let me try to put this where you can see it. I'll put it off to this side. Abs are nice and tight. You have your roller under your right hand. I'm just putting it off this side so you can see what's going on. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. We're first going to do our sit-ups. Let me see how I can do this. You'll be like this. And you're going to do your sit-ups. You're going to just suck in your tummy because we're going to create stabilization. I know what I'll do. I'll go this way. Suck in your tummy and release. Suck in your tummy, release. Feel what it feels like to engage. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, make sure your butt's sticking out, your abs are engaged. You should feel no pressure in your back or your knee. You should feel a lot of pressure in your quad and your butt. Your pelvic floor is on, your abs are on, your lats are on. Now, we're going to work on balance. You're going to lift that heel up as high as you possibly can, keeping the rear heel high as possibly you can, and then lower back down. Keep your abs engaged. Your butt should almost come out as you lift that heel up. Suck in that tummy. That's 3. 4. 5. So if you're having troubles with this, this is really showing you where you're cheating your strides. 6. Abs. 7. Quads are working, butt's working. 8. Abs. 9. 10. Beautiful. We're going to switch sides. Your right leg's forward, your left leg's back. You're really pushing that left thigh back. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. We'll start out with our sit-ups as you suck in your tummy, release. Suck in your tummy, release. Abs are nice and tight. Smiles are up. So you're trying to engage your abs. 8, 9, 10. Okay? Now from here, just keep your abs engaged. You're going to lift that heel up as high as you possibly can. Keep that rear heel high and lower down. All the work's in your quad and your butt. Abs are nice and tight. Sucking in your tummy. This is time under tension. You're not working any joints. You shouldn't feel this in your toes, knees, or low back. 3. Nice and slow. You should feel this in your quad and your butt specifically. 4, 5, notice if one side was easier than the other. 6, 7, abs. 8, 9, 10. Good. We're switch sides again. Notice if you accidentally took excessive work into your calf muscles. We're actually not even using our calves. We're using our quads and our butt. You should feel nothing in your knee. We're back behind you. So we're still high heel this time. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. Works in your quad and your butt. Abs are on. And then you're going to hinge forward as far as you possibly can go. And then come back out. Sucking that tummy. I'm going to come at you now. Sucking that tummy. All the work's in your quad and your butt. No pressure in your low back. No pain in your low back because you're tightening your abs and you're stabilizing your lats so you have a straight spine and your butt's doing all the work with your quad. 6. High heel. 7. Don't forget high heel. Abs. 8. 9. 10. Good. We're switching sides. High heel, high heel. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. And here you go. Make sure that knee stays over the top of your foot and not doing anything wonky. All the work's happening through your butt and your quad. So your glute max and your quad are working. Really reach forward, straight spine, no pressure in your low back, high heels. 4, suck that tummy in. 5, no pressure in your low back. 6, high heel. 7, 8, nothing in your back. 9, one more. 10, switching sides. Once again, this way. High heel, high heel. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. This is going to teach you to stabilize where you're going to go as far forward as you possibly can, and then you're going to lift that rear leg and lower it back down. Put it back exactly in the same spot. 2, high heel in the front. 3, 4, abs. 5, for the most part your head doesn't move. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we switch sides. High heel, high heel. Push your hips back, abs are nice and tight. First, second, third chakras are on. You're using your calf and your butt. Sucking your tummy, reach as far forward as you possibly can. High heel, and then you're gonna lift and lower. Whoops. Lift and lower. For the most part, your head doesn't move. Your foot always goes back to the same spot. Sucking that tummy. 5, 6, 7, 8, smiles are up. 9, 10, yes, good job. Oh, you should feel your booty now. Okay, this time your foot's flat on the block. Abs are nice and tight. Right leg's back behind you. You're pushing that thigh back. Sucking that tummy. You're watching alignment, knee over top of your foot. And what we're going to do is lean as far forward as you can. Put all the energy into your left butt cheek. Okay, this hand's off your body, left hand's off your body. And you're going to open your hips up, sucking your tummy. And then you're going to close your hips up, sucking your tummy. You're going to make sure that knee stays over the top of your foot the whole time and doesn't do all sorts of movement. We're trying to isolate movement to the compartment it's supposed to be in. Keep breathing. You should feel this in your butt. Smiles are up. This is really shaping your butt. 9, and 10. Okay, let's switch sides. Foot's on top of the block, your foot is flat. You're reaching as far forward as you can, abs are nice and tight. You're loading up your right butt cheek, you're watching an alignment of knee over top of your foot, abs are nice and tight. You're gonna lower that hip down, and then you're gonna lift up. Suck in that tummy. Feel what it feels like to move from your butt and stabilize through your abs. Watch the alignment of your knee. Because this is teaching you to shock absorb through major muscles instead of joints and your adipose fat. Why would I say that? So I have a client that's a dancer, and she tends to dance and shock absorb with her legs straight, and that causes all the shock to go through her adipose fat and skin. So she has a lot of bruises on herself, and she doesn't know how it gets there. But it has to do with how she's landing. She's not using her muscles. So we want you to use your muscles as we do 2 more. Good job. We switch sides again. Leg back behind you. This time you don't need the roller. Abs are nice and tight. This is going to be a little more familiar, except your foot is raised. We usually do this with your foot on the ground. Abs are nice and tight. Rear leg is straight. Suck in that tummy. And here we go. You're going to lunge forward, straight spine, nice and slow. Make sure it stays only in your butt and your quad. Your abs are working. We're going to come back up. Keep breathing. Suck in your tummy. Do not blow your belly into your thigh. That's 3. Smiles are up. 4. 5. Suck that tummy in. 6. Make sure for balance. Time under tension. 7. So we're working muscles and not joints. Yeah. 8. Mario pushed me. 9. 1 more makes 10. 10. Okay, let's switch sides. Same thing on the opposite side. See what it feels like to have your foot on the block. We're used to doing it off the block. This is what it's like to be on uneven surfaces. Rear heel is off the ground. You're watching alignment, knee over top of your foot. And then here we go again. We're just going to lunge forward, sucking in our tummies, moving very slowly, making sure we're using our butt and our quad, not our low back. If you feel it in your low back, tighten your abs and your lats. 2. You're going to go into this quite deeply. 3. There you go. Abs are nice and tight, sucking your tummy. Balance. 4. Make sure the energy is in your butt and not your ankle. 5. Suck that tummy in. 6. No airbagging your belly against your thigh. 7. Woo. Keep your core on, unlike me. 8. Suck that tummy in. 9. 10. Suck that tummy in. Good. We're standing on 2 feet. We're seeing what it feels like to have our feet parallel yet again. Shoulder blades are down and back. Abs are nice and tight. Hip circles. Try not to move your head when you do your hip circle. See, the camera's having all sorts of problems with what's called parallax. It sees what it sees versus what's going on. Opposite direction. Suck that tummy in. You're moving from your abs. Good. You're going to put your knee on the block now. We're now stretching out that quad that we've shortened up a little bit. We're gonna make sure our core is on so our head stays over the top of your foot. Suck in that tummy, draw your shoulder blades down and back. Hips go side to side. You can hold something for reference, but you're gonna keep moving from your abs. That will keep your head over the top of the block. Keep moving, suck in that tummy. And then we're gonna stretch forward. Whoa. Abs are nice and tight. Watch the alignment, knee over the top of your foot. It moves, but only a little bit, so I don't want to see the knee going like this. I want the knee pretty much still and the hips in motion. Suck in that tummy. And I will turn to the side. I should turn to the other side. You're forward, and now you're gonna bend and straighten that rear leg. We're working on the hamstring, this muscle here. Suck in that tummy. Don't let your foot cramp. If your foot cramps, it means you're using your foot. Suck in that tummy. 8, 9, 10. So this is about Chinese New Year's. So I wish you guys a Happy New Year. Hopefully it's more prosperous than last year. You're gonna grab a hold of your left foot with your right hand. You're gonna pull it into your butt as much as you can, and then you're gonna push your hips forward. This will stretch out that rectus femoris. Twist to your right, suck in your tummy. We're doing sit-ups from here. You're just gonna suck in your tummy and then release. Suck in your tummy, release. That's 3, 4, 5. Keep pushing those hips forward. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Big stretch forward. Stretch, 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 stretch. And then release that leg. You're gonna straighten out that front leg. I'm gonna move back a little. I'm way out of the frame. You're gonna take that front leg straight. Move it across midline slightly. We're gonna stretch forward. First with your left hand going forward. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. And then with your right hand, sucking in your tummy. Keep breathing. Suck that tummy in. Smiles are up. And then good. Come on back up again. We're going to switch sides. Working on that side-to-side motion again, so your core needs to be on, so your head stays over top of the block, side to side. You can hold that roller for reference, but still stabilize through your core. That head doesn't move. Smiles are up. Okay, and now hips forward, same thing, side to side. Suck in that tummy, see what it feels like. You're stretching out rectus femoris again. And a couple of the other hip muscles. Suck in that tummy. Now you're going to take your right hand, reach back behind you, grab a hold of that foot. Pull that foot into your butt as much as you can. Let me see, I'll rotate a little bit more. There we go. Abs are nice and tight. See what it feels like to pull that heel to your butt, hips forward. Now we're gonna do sit-ups. Suck in your tummy, release. Suck in your tummy, release. Feel what it feels like to twist to the left and suck in your tummy. Seven, 8, 9, 10. Okay, you're gonna drop that leg down. This leg is gonna go across midline as you stretch forward. Oh, but first stretch forward with that right hand and then left hand, sorry. You're sucking in that tummy. for just a few more seconds. I'm just looking to see what you guys are doing. Suck. And good. Come on back up again. We're going to go back onto your right knee. We're going to look at balance. This tells you a lot about the unintentional limp. If you got a side that you balance better on, that's the side you're going heavy on, okay? So all you're gonna do is keep your left toes off the ground, and you're gonna lift up your right foot and lower back down. Feel what it feels like core stabilized, feel what the balance feels like. There's time under tension. Notice if the work's going in the wrong parts of your body. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy, hold that balance. Smiles are up. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're gonna put our knees side by side. You can put your roller off to your right side if you want. You're just gonna lower your knee down below the level of block and you're gonna lift it up. This is gonna work this glute medius and this oblique. Lift and lower. Keep your toes off the ground as you do this. So we're not transferring any workout to the feet. So if your feet are cramping up on you, it means you use your feet for the wrong thing. 4 abs. 5 glute medius. Suck in that tummy. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're gonna switch sides. You can put the roller off to your left. Abs are nice and tight. Knees are side by side. Toes are off the ground. Lower down and then lift up. You're using this glute medius and this oblique. Sucking in your tummy the whole time. Even at the bottom where you want to let your tummy hang out, you're gonna be turning it on. Notice if one side was super easy compared to the other side, that is unintentional limp. Try to keep your shoulders level, head level. Sucking your tummy, it's a lot to think about, but that's a lot that we forget about and we end up with unintentional limp. And I forgot what the count is, so I'm guessing that's 6, 7, smiles are up, 8, 9, 10. Good job. We're going back to the other side again. Rollers off to your right. Both sets of toes are pointed. You're just going to swing this leg, opposite hand, opposite foot. Just see what it feels like to swing. Keep your abs engaged. Don't let your toes touch the ground. And feel what it feels like to swing from the hip. Suck in that tummy. Not too exciting, but very important. If you're doing this correctly, you should start to feel your right butt cheek working, especially when you take your leg back. And that's what should be happening. Suck in that tummy. Good. Let us switch sides. Versus lettuce that we use to make a sandwich or a salad. Okay, abs are nice and tight. Both sets of toes are off the ground. You're swinging your leg. This is working balance. This is working hip mechanics. It's making your butt work, your abs work. It's holding your balance. And it's making sure we don't have an unintentional limp. Notice that one side was way easier than the other side. The way easier is the problem because the way easier side's doing all the work. So we've got to balance this out. Don't let the work go into your neck. This is not neck work. Suck in that tummy. You should feel that left booty cheek starting to work. Keep your knees together. And good. We're coming into kneeling. Okay. Once you're kneeling, we're gonna point those toes back behind us. We're gonna do our sit-ups. You're gonna lean back. Muscular imbalance is where we create a lot of unintentional limp. So we're gonna make sure the muscles are balanced. As you lift your knees up, abs are nice and tight, you're gonna suck in your tummy and then release. Suck in your tummy and release. Just keep doing that. Shoulder blades are down and back, sucking in your tummy, release. Eight, 9, 10, okay? Curl your toes under. We are looking for the stretch of your plantar fascia and your Achilles tendon into your calf. We are not trying to break off your metatarsal heads. So if you feel excessive pressure in those metatarsal heads, it means to push your heels back. Suck in that tummy, shoulder blades are down and back. We're in this position again as you suck in your tummy and release. Suck it in, release. Suck it in, release. Keep breathing. Activate those abs. Change the shape of your abdomen so your abdomen can change shape. 8, 9, 10. Okay, point those toes again. You're gonna lean back, toes up. Suck in your tummy, release. Suck in your tummy and release. Jaws are relaxed, smiles are up, knees are off the ground. Keep breathing. Seven, 8, 9, 10. Okay, curl your toes under. Push your heels back. No snapping off your toes. The stretch should be in your calves and your plantar fascia. Hands are back behind you. We're doing our sit-ups again. Suck in the tummy, release. Suck in the tummy, release. Keep breathing. 5, 6, 7. Suck it in. 8, 9, 10. Good. Now we do our pelvic floor work. It's what should be working versus what we actually work. So the ball's on top of the block. You're gonna sit on top of the block. Ball's gonna go midway between your pubic bone and your tailbone. Chest goes up. Most importantly, you're gonna get your head over the top of the ball. So no anterior head carriage, we're gonna keep it back. We're gonna do our sit-ups here. You're gonna suck in your tummy and release. Suck it in, release. Change the shape of your abdomen. Keep your shoulder blades down and back. Keep your head back. Because you don't want to tighten your abs and have your head go forward. That's an awful habit that happens accidentally. Keep breathing. Keep your abs engaged. Oh, there they are. Okay, you can grab your little weights if you'd like. Mario would be pleased. So we're gonna look at arm motion with twist. Because as we do, we also start to understand unintentional limp. Because if you can't twist one direction as well as the other, you're limping. It's that easy. This is why this is such an easy subject. You got any muscular imbalance, you're limping. So we're gonna first just do our bicep curls. Chest is up, shoulder blades are down and back, head's over top the body, pelvic floor is on. You're gonna do a bicep curl. I want you to do it nice and slow and symmetrical. Keep your abs engaged the whole time. Focus on your biceps, focus on your abs. Just a really slow lift and lower. Don't let the work go into your neck. This is not about your neck. This is about your abs and your biceps. Because we're going to a gun show, as they say. Suck in that tummy. That's 3, 4. So my Dyson vacuum cleaner is a handheld vacuum cleaner that you can overuse in one arm. So I have to make sure I use both arms when I vacuum with my Dyson vacuum cleaner. That's battery powered. Suck in your tummy. There you go. 8, 9, 10. So this is what's called a homolateral motion. A homolateral motion, or is where things are happening same side, or both extremities going in the same direction. You don't need to use your core, but we want you to use your core. Shoulder blades go down and back. We're going to kick it back now. Feel what it feels like to activate your back muscles, your triceps most specifically, and keep your head over the top of your pelvic floor. Keep breathing, suck in that tummy, head over the top of the ball. 7, chest up. 8, head over top of ball, no neck. 9, and 10. Okay, rest for a split second. You should feel your shoulders be activated. Now we're gonna break it up with the twist. So you have to twist your body as we twist rotation, right arm forward, left arm back, and then we're gonna reverse it. Left arm forward, right arm back. Try to keep it as symmetrical as you can, because we're eliminating imbalances that lead to unintentional limp. Suck in that tummy. At no point does your belly hang out. Mine may look like it's hanging out, and it's only because of my shirt and not because my belly is hanging out. Suck in that tummy. Gillen's not allowed to laugh. Feel what it feels like to create symmetry, to create balance. Don't think about muscular fatigue, think about balance. Okay, everyone has a side that they did better. Everyone does. So I want you to focus on that side. When we get to that side, you're going to take your right leg forward, left hand back. We're going to focus only on one side now. You're going to take that left arm forward, right arm back as you make a twist, suck in your tummy. If this is a side you need work on it. Keep breathing. Keep your abs engaged, suck in that tummy, keep your chest tall, keep that balance even. 9, 10. We're gonna switch sides now. So your left leg goes forward, right leg goes back. See what it feels like in terms of twist. Suck in that tummy. Six, 7. Notice that side that you do better than the other. 8, 9, 10. Good job, everyone. You can put your weights off to the side. We're going to really look at balance now as you bring both feet forward. You're going to level out, making sure that ball's in midway between your pubic bone and your tailbone, and midway between now your sits bones. Those are your ischial tuberosity, or your butt bones. Keep your head over the top of the ball. Abs are nice and tight. You're going to just put your hands up and stick them up, not very hard. But I want you to see if you're dominant off your left side or your right side, and then center it. And once you center it, you're just going to do a little bounce. This is why Mari and I do this, because it's very centering. It activates your pelvic floor most importantly, but it's centering so you get rid of unintentional limp. Shoulder blades are down and back. So again, we work with dancers, and one of the most catastrophic things we can see is a dancer getting dominant in one leg only. So even though they have 2 legs to dance off of, they dance heavy off of one leg, and eventually something bad happens to it, even though they're healthy. Okay? Hands on your knees. We're going to come up, go into a forward fold. Your legs are straight, your arches are lifted, knees are turned out. First, second, third chakras are on as you're just hanging out.
Keep your abs engaged, pelvic floor on. This is time under tension. You want to feel it in the muscles and not joints. If you feel it in joints, something needs to be tightened up. It may be your calves, your quads, your abs, your lats, depending on where you're feeling it. If you're feeling it in your low back, you need to tighten your abs and fire up your lats. If you're feeling it in your knees, you need to tense up your calves, your quads, and your hamstrings, which seems contradictory since we're stretching those, but it's not. You need to be able to lengthen under a contraction. And then now your hands go on your knees. Chest goes up, your butt's sticking out. And now you're going to suck in your tummy and then release. Suck in your tummy and release. We're doing sit-ups in this position. Don't drop too much weight into your arms. Make your butt work as well as your abs. Keep that pelvic floor on. That's the whole point of this. Keep those shoulder blades down and back. And then now we're going to double time it like you got a bad case of the hiccups. Suck those abs in. Don't let the work go anywhere else in your body. Notice when you lose coordination of sucking your abs in and goes somewhere else in your body, because that's what you do during the day. Notice if it goes down one leg more than the other, there's your unintentional one. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. We're going to head to the ground. Okay, ball goes in the small of your back. We're going to continue some of this stuff. Hands are back behind you, feet are parallel, knees are over tops of your feet. First, you're going to do your sit-ups. You're going to suck in your tummy and release. Suck it in, release. Really activate into your core, see what it feels like to connect to your core, and see how little you do it during the day. Okay, now that you got that motion going on, we're going to double time it, even though the mosquitoes are eating us. You're going to suck in that tummy, suck, 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 suck in that tummy. You're going to do it repetitively and quickly. Trying to engage those ab muscles. Suck, 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 suck. This is a lot faster than we typically do it, but I want you to get in the habit of ballistically being able to activate your abs and figuring out the coordination. 9, 10. Okay, hands on your knees, shoulders down and back. Same thing. Suck in that tummy. Suck, 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 suck it in. Keep breathing. Seven, 8, 9, 10. Rest. If you did this right, your abs should be exhausted. If you didn't, you just flipped your tummy around and you shouldn't feel tired at all. Okay, arms go up. We're going to do our little ballistic, same flipping the abs. Flip, 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 flip. It's fast. And now we're going to add right and left. Right, left. Suck in your tummy. This is fast. This is ballistic motion. Your elbows don't bend. Your shoulders stay down and back. Suck in that tummy. Suck. Suck your tummy in as you do this. We have to learn the out position. We have to learn the in position. We have to be able to control both. Otherwise, we get in trouble. I had one former student that used to do abs, and she got her mindset in that it had to only be on the in position. She blew out her back, even though she had great ab control. 9, 10, and arms go back behind you. Suck in your tummy. We're going to do it again. Suck, suck, suck in your tummy. That little ballistic flip of the belly. It's like you realize a little frog landed on your tummy and it kind of freaks you out and you want the frog off, so you quickly contract your abs. Smiles are up. And good, arms go up. Abs stay on. We're just going to do opposite hand to opposite foot. Notice if you can hold symmetry, hold head alignment, because if you can, you're doing great. If you're falling off balance, you got an unintentional limp. Suck that tummy in, because it's going to work core stabilization and time under tension. And arch over the top of the ball as you rock from side to side now. You're breathing. Jaws relaxed. Notice if you accidentally put tension in your mouth, it shouldn't have gone there, but it can. So just get it out of there. And then the ball's gonna go underneath your sacrum. Oh. We're just gonna look at extremity motion, because if your extremities do not bend the same, you have an unintentional limp. So we're gonna just straighten one leg and then bend it. Straighten the other leg and bend it. Core stabilized. So if your core shuts off, you have an unintentional limp. This is getting easier and easier to identify what's going on in your body. It's really interesting if you read Greek mythology, there's something called the Oedipus Rex story. Oedipus means foot. So the implication is that he had a sexual function and he had a limp. His father's name was Labdacus, which means he was shaped like a lambda and he had a limp. So there's this weird correlation between sexual dysfunction and limp, and this is why we want to get rid of unintentional limp, especially if we don't have a problem, because it implies so much more. Very nice. Breathe, keep your abs engaged, and we're just going to go a little bit faster, like a walking speed, to see if we could create symmetry and balance. So we don't have an Oedipus syndrome or a Labdacus syndrome of walking. Keep breathing. Notice if your toes are taking up the work, or your knees or your hips. Should be in muscles. 2 and 1. Rest. Rest. Your legs should be tired because we're doing this accurately. There should be no pressure in your knees because we're non-weight bearing right now. We're going to take it up to a little trot. See what that feels like. See if the motion's symmetrical, or one leg can straighten more, or one leg doesn't bend as much. And try to balance it out. Keep breathing. Suck in your tummy, stabilize those abs. Keep your pelvic floor on. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. So I had a friend in high school. He had all the makings of becoming an Olympic level athlete. And during one of his races, he lost pelvic floor control. And after that, he lost his confidence and he didn't run much after that. So keep your pelvic floor on is the cautionary tale here. As we now go into a Gillen sprint. Here we go, as fast as you can. Keep your abs engaged. Try to keep everything symmetrical as the work intensity goes up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, straighten out both legs against the ground. You are now going to rock from side to side again. From this position, last but not least, abs are nice and tight. You have a champagne glass on your belly now. You're going for a walk. Opposite hand, opposite foot go into the air. You're breathing. That champagne glass should not spill a single drop. Suck in that tummy. And rest. We're going to do one more set of that. So set your champagne glass up again. Start with your opposite leg in hand and just continue walking. Notice if your strides are the same length, or if one leg goes up higher than the other, or one leg goes up easier than the other. It should be nice and symmetrical to avoid the limping. Keep breathing. Suck in that tummy, stabilize your abs. Don't be like that girl I mentioned before that didn't know how to use her abs properly even though they looked good. And rest. Rock from side to side. You also know it's a good sign when the music changes. And the music changed. Okay, so you're going to lay on your roller lengthwise. We also go to back to this at the end of the class because it's very recalibrating. So recalibrate your feet being parallel, knees over tops of your feet. Your shoulder blades are down and back. Then your first chakra, your pelvic floor goes on. Second chakra, your lower abs. Third chakra, upper abs. Squeeze your shoulder blades down and back. And then we're going to do the world's most difficult thing. We're going to breathe through your nose only. Keep your abs engaged, keep your rib cage closed. People always ask, how could I breathe if my abs are tight? And it should absolutely be easier if you're doing it correctly. If you're having troubles, it means you're doing a Valsalva instead of stabilizing your core. A Valsalva is what we do to lift up something heavy or adapt a pressure change like in an airplane that's pulling a couple of G's. Feel what it feels like to breathe, and now see if you can set into balance. Are you falling to your left side, are you falling to the right side, or can you stay in center? If you notice a tendency to fall to your left side, you're heavy on your left, you have an unintentional limp over the top of your left extremity. If you're heavy over your right, you have an unintentional limp to your right extremity. Make it balanced. This is your opportunity. Float your hands off the ground and just really find balance. You guys stay on the roller. I'm coming off the roller. So at the end of the day, what we've been working with today is balance. The awareness of when we come out of balance and just correcting back into balance. But there's so many attributes in our lives that we come out of balance and we don't even know. And then we develop an unintentional limp or compensation in our life. And it's really important to find that balance, and mainly that personal balance, so you know where you're off balance and you can correct. You can be more complete. You can be more whole. If you have pain in your right knee, it's probably because you're heavy on your right knee and your right knee is doing something strange. Likewise, if it's on the left side, you're doing the same thing on the left side. It's not rocket science, it's balance. And when you see a scale and it's heavy off one side, all you have to do is bring a few objects to the other side and suddenly the scales balance out. But it means centering yourself in order to feel it, see it, and then do it. So now continue to breathe in balance. Notice if you're swaying side to side. Notice if your brain's getting heavier than the rest of your body as your brain starts thinking about the day. Stay in your center. Feel what it feels like to be open and centered. Feel what it feels like to be loving and centered. Feel what it feels like to listen and be centered. Unless you practice centering, you're going to go into an unintentional limp in some aspect of your life, if not in your walk. That is why we went over that today. Because then it affects, as you saw in the first part of the class, the upper extremities. So shoulder pains become an imbalance in the body. Head and neck problems are compensations to our walk. And then how we're wading through the difference in our bodies creates different loads into our abdomen, and now we get digestive problems, reproductive problems. And as we turn off the different pelvic floors, like the pelvic floor, the chakras, what I meant to say, then the abs start shutting off and we lose support of your internal organs. So in these last few moments, just center and balance. Notice how many habits you have, like reaching only with your right hand, never with your left. stepping forward with only your right foot and not your left. It's our job to balance out our lives. No one's going to do it for us. And in fact, most people like us off balance. So on behalf of Maria, who wanted to be here and sent much of her love to you, we just want to say thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for OSB willing, being abundant and generous with us. We appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you, and namaste.